open the door and think of it as a metaphor for starting afresh and opening the door to opportunity. Breathing in the oxygen and taking in this opportunity, allowing it to flow through your blood as you start to walk and building up to a fast walking pace. Trusting in the process and allowing me to take you on this journey to work through our anger together, knowing that you are safe. Building up to a fast walking pace, allow your muscles within your body to relax. Let's just focus on each part of our body just so that we can allow ourselves to fall into a relaxed pace. Toes, don't scrunch them, just let them bend and stretch and fall. The balls of your feet and your heels going into the pavement as if they are a mould. Your legs, ankles, calves, knees and thighs, just relaxing. Your knees taking your weight of your body like a sponge. Your hips, your pelvic area and your core, torso becoming strong, yet not pulling any tension in your shoulders and your neck. Just allowing your arms to flow gently beside you. Your neck feeling light and your head not feeling heavy. And your cheeks, your nose, your facial muscles, your forehead, just relaxing. Building into a jog, allowing your body to remain in its relaxed state despite the change of speed. Just notice the things around you without paying too much attention to them. Have an awareness that there perhaps are people or cars, buildings, or perhaps out in nature, but just have this sense that you are part of something bigger. Notice the sounds and the colours. Notice the sound of your feet on the ground as you move, slowly jogging, allowing your breathing to settle comfortably. Notice the sound that your body is making as it moves, maybe the rustle of your clothes. Becoming aware of your breathing, noticing the temperature as the oxygen enters through the nasal passage, reaches down the back of your throat and into your diaphragm, deep below into your stomach area, and as it swirls around and then entering your bloodstream, the oxygen flowing, giving you energy and power, and then as you exhale your carbon dioxide, this process, this alivening, awakening method is bringing like a source of fuel into your body as it travels all around you through your bloodstream and into your brain. Bringing your attention back to our purpose. The purpose of this run is to work through and process anger. Anger is a natural human response that many of us will experience, some on a regular basis, some from time to time, and some of us prolonged and agonizing and painful. Reminding you that you are safe and that together we will think about how we can release some of this difficult emotion that might be causing us discomfort. Refocusing again on the muscles in your body and not allowing them to tense up. Anger is responsible for muscle tension, so whenever we feel angry, we must pay particular attention to how we are holding ourselves physically and not allowing tension to enter into the muscles to make them rigid and too firm, causing injury, aches and pains. Allowing your pace to take yourself to the speed that you feel comfortable without allowing the breath to become too harboured. Anger has a purpose in its own right. The purpose of anger is to protect us, to give us that energy when we may need to take action that can be protective, to fight, to fly away, to run, to get ourselves out of difficult situations. Anger is present when there is something that challenges us, something that challenges the vulnerable parts of ourselves. And with bravery, perhaps today during this run and this guided mindfulness session, we can think about that vulnerable part of ourself and how we can protect it in a more helpful and nurturing way. Without thinking of circumstance, without thinking of people, situations, places or things, just try to imagine your anger as if it was a being. Think about its colour. What colour would it be? Think about its textures, its shape. Is it always the same shape or does it change? If the anger was inside your body, where would it sit inside of you? Would it be in more than one place? Does the anger sit on your fingertips or in your stomach, in your heart or on your head, in your forehead or at the back of your head? Just try to imagine if that anger was a substance, a being, a thing, what would it look like? As we run together, just picture or try to imagine at least some of that. If it had a voice, what would it sound like? Would it speak actual words? Or would it scream or yell? Would it whisper or cry? Can you imagine? Can you just see it now and hear it and imagine its texture and feeling? What sounds is it making? Does it stay the same size or does it grow? Just focus on that. Remembering to keep your body as relaxed and as fluid as you can. Mindfulness is about being in the moment and noticing, being curious, being aware in the here and now. So allow yourself a moment to just be with your anger, imagining it upon your body, just allowing yourself to be with your anger, beside your anger, carrying your anger. Just imagine yourself and your anger in its objectification, its symbolism, its appearance. Just be with it. Allow yourself to just take these steps as you run, holding your anger in your hand, taking it away from the part of your body in which you previously were focusing on, and now imagining that it is in your hand. You're looking at it, you're noticing it, you're safe, and you're just allowing yourself to be at ease with it. No pressure, just being at one with your anger. Keeping it in your hand, now refocus your mind upon the part of yourself in which you removed your anger from. Think about that space where your anger was once sitting. Now what do you see there? What was there sitting, or what is there sitting where your anger once was sitting? What is in that space? We shall be turning around soon and heading back to your destination. Before we do that, just have a look there at that space. I wonder if that is a vulnerable part of you. I wonder if the anger in which was once there was protecting that vulnerability. What does that vulnerability looks like? Perhaps it is a memory. Perhaps it is an experience, a fear, a hurt, a scar, an emotional wound. Now is the time for us to acknowledge and just to see, to wonder and to be curious about that space. Notice its colours. Notice what might be sitting in that space. Notice its sounds and its textures and its feelings. Allowing your body again to just relax into your pace, breathing, inhaling oxygen, nurturing and expelling the toxic carbon dioxide. Let us take an affirmation together. Let us make an acknowledgement that we shall put something in the place of that anger that is more fruitful and beneficial, and that we will protect that vulnerability with something new, different. Perhaps you know how to protect it without anger, and it's okay if you don't. But today we will think of something, we'll become aware that something needs to become a replacement, that anger was not in fact protecting that vulnerability, but in fact it was hurting us and maybe others too. So let us take an affirmation and repeat after me. I shall protect my vulnerability with something other than anger. Say it again. I shall protect my vulnerability with something other than anger. Not a promise or a commitment, but a hope that we can do things differently. So let's head back to our destination. Let's go forward with this new understanding. And I'm noticing that your anger is still perhaps in your hand. Or maybe you let go of it already without realizing that it was gone. But for those of you still carrying its weight in your hand, let us refocus upon it. And now as you look at your anger and you see it and you remember its smells and its textures and its sounds and its colours, you can choose, if you wish, to scrunch it up into a ball inside your hand, and when you open your hand again, it will have disintegrated as if it's puffed into thin air. So making a decision if you want to join me on this, now clench your hand. Clench it tight and squeeze that anger. Squeeze it really hard, and when you're ready, you will release your fingers and your palm will be empty. Take a breath in, the oxygen entering And then breathing out, expelling any toxic thoughts and energy, letting go of that feeling of what you've been holding on to. Feeling empowered and feeling positive, more aware and insightful and reflective, allowing your feet to pass you through. As you do this, you feel strong and you feel as though the part of you that is in the present, in the now, here, is the adult that is overall and overarchingly responsible. As your feet move you forwards, you say to that vulnerable part of yourself, I've got this. I've got this. I will protect you. I will take care of you. And the adult part of you feels firm that you will take care of all those parts of you, the vulnerable parts of you. You are your own protector. You have everything you need within you to take care of yourself and keep yourself safe. Remember that anger is usually fear-driven to protect the vulnerable part of ourselves. By reminding yourself that you are strong and able to protect yourself here and now would mean that you will seek an alternative way to protect those soft parts of you. Although they are soft indeed, they all have a story of strength, resilience, and survival. And in fact, we'll soon begin to see that those parts are not soft at all. Rather, they are strong and flexible. They are the energy source that brings you life and knowledge, wisdom, to keep going forwards and to remind you that in fact you are a survivor. That as a human being, you need these parts of you as much as you need the parts in which others might perceive to be stronger and more intelligent. Yet they all make up who you are and who you've become and who you will be. So in fact, although it may be hard, we work towards an aim and an objective to accept them, to love them, and to even celebrate them. And we're all on this path, this journey to self-empowerment, self-belief, and know that you will and can achieve a greater sense of self-contentment. Your time is here and it will get better. And you are not alone. As you're soon about to arrive back home or at your destination, just take a moment to reflect on this path that we've just taken together. Remember where your anger came from, what it looks and feels like, what it was protecting, and how you can then reframe and think about another way to protect that vulnerable part of you. Remember the affirmation that we made, that we'll try to choose and find another way to protect ourselves when we feel challenged, when we feel as though something will be taken from us or will hurt us. we will think of another way in which we can cope and communicate to ourselves and others. The reward part of our brain is activated, whilst neurotransmitters are being released, all the things that are responsible for well-being, for pleasure and reward. And in fact, anger also is part of this chemical makeup, in which the reward center part of the brain can become confused when anger serves us and allows us to feel as though we can be in control and accomplished. But now we've reframed things and we've thought of it as another method and another way of taking care of ourselves, other than resorting to anger in order to try to achieve a sense of control. Instead, we will seek to reward through means in which is nurturing and helpful. And as we head home, we feel pleased that we have taken upon this challenge and been reflective in order that we may grow, in order that we may embark on new neural pathways that will become a different way of being, a more positive, more adult, more rational way of choosing to communicate and live and take care of ourselves and others. Well done. Well done, you. And keep growing. Let us keep learning, reflecting, and embark on this ever journey of growth.